For you to know how to manifest effortlessly, let me tell you about a story first. There was a guy in 1905 that was born in Barbados. A lot of people know him as Neville Goddard. At first, this guy was just coming from a pretty poor family on a small island. And one day, as he moved to New York and was trying to get to be an actor or a dancer or something, he met a guy called Abdullah. And this guy wasn't just any random black guy. He was a mystic. That means he knew some secrets of the universe. And he didn't just meet him and go on his way. Abdullah started to teach him the ways of the mystics, or more so, one way of seeing the world that allows you to control reality. One way to understand that consciousness is the fundamental fabric of this universe. And the way he did this was by making him experience with a technique, let's say it, or a way of living, which is called nowadays the law of assumption. Some people call it the law of attraction, but at least it's a bit different. The law of assumption is about two principal things: living and feeling as if your desires were already fulfilled. And from there, Neville has used this, and he built, first of all, a pretty big empire of spiritual teaching, which allowed him to make a bunch of money and get out of poverty. But he also has a bunch of examples that allowed him to use this law in order to get what he wants. One of those examples, one of the most famous ones, is he was stuck in New York and wanted to go home in Barbados, but he didn't have any money at this point. So he asked Abdullah, how do I get home without money? Abdullah tells him, just imagine yourself, right before sleep, imagine yourself in your room in Barbados and feel as if you really are there. So he did. He did for a little bit, for a few weeks, I think. And lo and behold, he gets sent by his father a ticket to go to Barbados, all paid. Now you might think, okay, it's a one-off occurrence and it's not that incredible. But his students and the people who have used this law have gotten a bunch of examples that are pretty fucking insane. Let me give you an example about money first. There was this girl who was indebted to the IRS for $100,000. So imagine how insane that is. Imagine how horrible of a living situation that is. She found out about the law of assumption. She shifted the desire to expectation. And not expectation in the negative sense of the word, but expectation as if it's already happened or it's already happening. The way she did that is she wrote a mental letter to the IRS as if her debt was already settled and she was free. And again, lo and behold, a few weeks later or a few months later, she gets the deal by the IRS that allows her to simply pay $400 on the debt out of $100,000. That's mind-boggling to me. It's crazy. There are people who use this as well to reunite with an ex. Now, little thing to note about romantic relationships, it's not because you can make someone come back that they're the right person for you. Okay, so think about it. Maybe don't imagine one person in particular, but more so imagine what you want out of a person, out of a romantic relationship, and imagine you already have it. This way, you're sure you're going to attract the actual person that is right for you instead of the one you have in mind. Now, another example, it's going to be the last one, and then I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it, is for health. There was this guy who was diagnosed with something supposedly incurable. He used the law of assumption. Imagine himself jogging and just going about his life in perfect health every day. And even when symptoms appeared, right, pain, all that shit, he decided to ignore it and assume his body was already whole. And a few months later, the illness was gone. And the doctors were absolutely baffled. Now, you're free to not believe me and to think, okay, that's just anecdotal. If you're a real scientist, if you're a real reasonable person, or if you already believe me, then it's time to try it. Because only by trying will you know if it works. And it can take some time, trust me, but it can also be instant. It's going to depend on you. Let's get into it. The first part is about the feeling of it, the feeling of already having it. And if you think about it for 2 seconds, what would be the feeling once you already have the girlfriend, once you already have the tranquility, you already have the money, you already have the validation of people telling you, "Oh, you're looking good. Yeah, looking fit." Blah, blah, blah. It would probably just be normalcy. Like after a while, of course, you would be excited at first, right? You have a new car, you have some money, you're a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. But after a while, it would feel normal. You would just feel confident about these things. You would feel the same way about having a bunch of money than you would about going up to your fridge and taking something in it. That's what confidence is. It's a lack of anxiety. It's a sense of peace and normalcy. So that's what you want to practice. You want to practice not worrying about the desires you have constantly and starting to live as if you already had them, which means being chill. Every time you start worrying about it, chill. You're here and it's already happened. Live that way. If you live that way, it will actually happen. Don't ask yourself when. Don't ask yourself how. Just live as if it already did. And honestly, if you think about it, isn't that way better than living fucking 10 years in hustle culture and worrying and anxiety and stress just to have the same goal when you can have it by just manipulating the laws of the universe, by just being chill? That means those 10 years might not even take 10 years to get there. Absolutely not. But let's say it stays the same. It stays 10 years. Those 10 years will be way more enjoyable if you're not stuck worrying about getting to the 10 years, getting to the goal every single second of your day. I think we can agree on that, right? Now, the second part is about visualization. This is more of a technique. The first one, the whole feeling thing, is more of something you want to adopt throughout your day. It's a way of living. This one is a technique you can do right before sleep or as you're falling asleep. For example, you just get to bed, and instead of thinking about random stuff, you think about yourself having what you want. Again, the visualization should seem like it's normal. In the visualization, you shouldn't be like, woo, 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 I have a car, I have some money, blah, blah, blah. You should just, let's say if it's about love, you shouldn't feel like it's insane and you're having awesome sex and blah, blah, blah. It would probably be best if it's just you hanging out on the couch with your girlfriend. You know what I mean? Or your wife, whatever you want. It should feel normal. Like this guy on the drawing, he's like, wow, like that's insane, all that. But you should really be like this guy. This guy is the one you want to be. Sorry, I can get caught up every time. He's visualizing, like that's the third eye. You can see, you can understand, blah, blah. He's like, normal shit. So you imagine this, and you don't need to do it every night. But if it can be a way to have a more focused stream of thoughts towards what you want, and to kind of take away the worry before sleep, it can be a good thing. And it could help if you're an insomniac as well. If you're just visualizing the way your desires are getting fulfilled and you're imagining they're already done, then you won't be worrying about all the other details, and it might allow you to sleep better as well. So yeah, now you know how to manifest pretty much effortlessly. But you're still missing something: pure alignment. The ability to manifest without trying to manifest. And trust me when I tell you, this is the next step. This is the next level that's gonna absolutely destroy all your beliefs and change your life. And if you want to know how, it's right here. And don't forget, work on the inside and the outside will follow. Take care, man.